Hello, everyone. Greetings. The production, use, and disposal of fibers, fabrics, and garments has significant impact on people and planet. BSL and AEPC have come together in this web series of head turners to create the awareness about sustainability. And every fortnight, we talk to experts in the respective fields who brief us not only about reducing the impact, these negative impacts, but also to harness the potential benefits that more sustainable fibers and production methods can and will have on people and environment. So continuing on this series, the number 2 in the series of head turners on sustainability, we have a panel of experts who will be talking their way in terms of what they're doing and what their organizations are doing. And significant acceleration in terms of climate change is needed, which these experts will be briefing us about.
At the beginning of the session, I'd like to share a few facts about our status quo. And I also want to welcome all the sustainability enthusiasts here today who will already, I'm sure, be aware of these fashion facts already. But it's always nice to bring up those facts again to set the context for this episode today and take these discussions forward. So more than 75 million people worldwide are employed by the fashion sector, which has a global market value of over $2.5 trillion and is a significant contributor to our economy. The industry has had a phenomenal growth in the recent years. Manufacturing has doubled and consumption has doubled too from 2000 to 2014. But it is also leading to a lot of wastage. The scale at which we are producing and consuming, that is the same scale at which we are also disposing. The equivalent of one garbage truck full of textiles is landfilled or burned every second, which leads to 85% of textiles being disposed annually. A substantial number of garments are never actually sold to customers. And this is the outcome of what? Poor planning, poor sourcing, poor merchandising, poor policies, poor collaboration between brands and suppliers, and a very, very broken push-based trade. We can talk about innovations. We can talk about replacing equipment to reduce energy use. We can try to convince governments to switch from fossil to renewables. But guess what? We need to exhaust more renewables to we need to exhaust more fossil fuel to make renewables. So that's also an immediate impact we're going to face. But major gains can be made now if we simply just transform trade for good. Talking about transforming trade, I also want to bring up. So my question here is today, if companies haven't stopped growing and overproducing, why? It's because they haven't been held accountable. And they haven't been held accountable because transparency has not been a part of our industry. It's not the norm. We are now getting new policies where transparency and traceability are going to be required as norm of normal business functioning. But we know what to do, but we don't want to do. And I'm not talking about going to the gym, which I need the most, but I'm talking about climate change. We can still choose now if we want to have degrowth by disaster or degrowth by design. We still have it in our hands to redesign our systems, to transform our approach to business, not treat sustainability like a parallel piece, but continue to do our businesses sustainably and bring our economy to planetary boundaries. Today itself, the Sorceries founder, Crispin Argento, posted a beautiful post on LinkedIn saying, we want to develop and publish policies for our vendors, for our suppliers, for our clients and buyers. But our biggest vendor, our biggest supplier, our biggest client is planet Earth. And if we don't cater and extract from planet Earth accordingly, we are heading for a doomsday. With this context, I would like to share a bit about Sorcery. And thank you for showing your interest in our work. I want to talk about our program called Direct to Grower, which is here to deliver transparency, traceability in supply chain, along with environmental and commercial excellence. So next slide, please. Thank you. Transforming trade through transparent, fair, and efficient transactions from growers to consumers. That is the core of our business model. In the recent years, brands and other partners have been making declarations and commitments to source responsible cotton and 50% or 80% or 100% of their portfolio by so and so year. But it is now becoming synonymous with chasing paper trails, with chasing claim units. There is little importance that has been given to implementation plans to achieve those goals. And that is why we need robust planning behind it to put the action on ground and to meet those goals. This is where direct to grower comes in. This program has been developed to bring all the supply chain partners together from farm to fashion and to accelerate meeting up with the goals. Next slide, please. So what makes us unique as an organization? We are fully commercially neutral. We facilitate the trade. We support the trading and export of raw material and finished goods, yarn, fabrics, fiber within the marketplace, but we do not make money from the price of the fiber, the price of the yarn, or price of the material sold in the trade. We are paid through our memberships rather than through charging a commission on the trade of the products. We are also standard agnostic. We recognize BCI, Better Cotton Initiative. We recognize organic under APIDA, organic under USDA, the NOP, the NPOP standards, as well as the new emerging standards like Region Agri, Good Earth Cotton, etc. But what we really focus on is our efforts towards the fiber and the farmer. The farmer could be following any standard of cotton. We want to highlight what their investment is and why they deserve returns on their investment beyond the fabric, beyond the finished goods, and we don't want to get too distracted by the labels or the standards. How we do it? We do it by working on primary data. We don't take LCAs of the fiber. We actually collect primary data side by side, regionally, locally, from the growers and the farmers and the programs that we work at with farm level. And lastly, our goal is to lead market transformation at scale by getting the sector to adopt a new approach to sourcing cotton, which we call, of course, direct to grower. Next slide, please. So what we transform? As I already said, we are commercially driven. We obviously support a lot of philanthropic organizations that have laid the seeds for sustainable cotton sector to move forward. But we also recognize that through philanthropy, we cannot achieve the scale and impact that the sector desperately needs within cotton. It's great. There are some great initiatives running in the industry funded by philanthropy funds, but they don't last forever. Those initiatives last only till the funds last. And it's not always easy to get funds and even achieve the goals or the KPIs in the given timeline. This sector needs, these things cannot change overnight. We all need to understand this is a continuous improvement process. And that is why we have to stop relying on philanthropy or foundation or trust funding. We have to start taking this into our business models. We are also standard agnostic. So that means we are about inclusion of all standards and compliances. Rather than commodity trade, we believe in promoting direct trade because when we look at the commodity trade model of cotton, which is existing today, we are going through the highs and lows of the cotton market according to the market behavior. But if we invest towards direct trade, direct linkages towards the farmers, we are eliminating a lot of middlemen, we are eliminating a lot of traders, we are eliminating a lot of risk that is associated with those elements, with those additional elements. And direct trade will always bring in more efficiency, more transparency, and more benefits for each partner, especially the farmer. Insufficient and high risk currently that the market is offering, through our program, we want to achieve better efficiencies. The risk becomes lower. A lot of the times I have seen the brands or the buyers, and when I say buyer, I also mean the manufacturers who want to buy the fiber. So all sorts of buyers and brands who are looking to secure cotton. There is a secure, sustainable cotton, organic cotton. There is a very high risk involved about once you book and once when you're ready to receive the volume and it's not there. So if you get into direct to grower kind of programs, then you are able to secure the cotton from the farming stage itself. So you know what you're getting, you know when you're getting, and that is also giving you full chain transparency because we are engaging with each partner at each stage. At this moment, we talk a lot about greenwashing because there have been claims made based on vague information, no substantial data, just to create an image that we are doing sustainable practices. And there are several claims made, but we want to provide impact, meaning verified data based on which the claims can be proven authentic and not greenwashing. Next slide, please. Now, how we transform trade, these are the building blocks of our model: engagement with all the supply chain partners, collaboration between them. It sounds very simple, but whenever we are talking about transparent trade, it's not easy for everyone to agree on terms and conditions, agree on business terms, agree on volumes and qualities and payment terms and deliveries and so on. So we start engaging with the supply chain partners far ahead in the season so that we take them through this journey of making them understand the goals of the program. That leads to collaboration and trust between them because there is a lot of rapport building, there is a lot of clear communication, there is a lot of understanding of the goals of the program that goes. We have to look at why people don't want to be transparent, because they are hiding something. Why they are hiding something? Because there must be some reasons. Cost cutting is usually the reason for hiding something. If they're and they don't want to be excluded, there are consequences to revealing some information. So if we offer them inclusion, if there is trust, then those are the easy ways to achieve traceability and transparency. These are the building blocks we need to incorporate in our model, and to achieve great results on ground. Next slide, please. So direct to grower partner members, today we invite you to join the direct to grower partner network, which allows your organization to demonstrate the commitment to advancing commercial and environmental excellence through transparent, fair, and efficient trade in cotton. Usually we have seen assembly CMTs are at the forefront of the very long and complex supply chains, engaging with brands and retailers directly. It is of utmost importance today for the CMTs assemblies to know their supply chain, to map their supply chain. Since the laws are changing, the governance is changing, all suppliers will soon be expected to be responsible for their supply chain down till the farm. So since they are the face of the industry, facing the customer firsthand, it is going to be of utmost benefit for assemblies to own this kind of model, build their USP, because today it is your USP, tomorrow it will be a policy. Moving on, please. Under direct to grower, we have 3 programs called Transparent Trade Facilitation, Project Development and Management, and Impact Supplier for Finance. Through Transparent Trade Facilitation, this is where we are engaging all different partners in the chain to transact cotton in a way which is transparent, fair, and efficient. It allows true traceability from raw material to finished goods. And about project development and management, those are the programs we manage at farm level. If there are certain elements that you want to improve at the farm level, even get visibility and some understanding of what is going on the ground, to get an assessment of what is the current status quo of how goods are being produced, what kind of inputs are being used, what kind of farming practices are being implemented, we can provide that kind of project development and management, and then assessing those programs and designing next year programs to fill the gaps that have been found for better efficiency in cotton production. for environmental and farmers benefit both. The last one is impact supplier finance. Once the chains are set up, we can then mobilize capital in a way that leads to securing supply, reducing risks, mitigating costs to deliver even greater impact at scale. Next slide, please. Under our program, we are delivering impact, integrity, and traceability. Our program enables supply chain partner to implement services for integrity, impact, and traceability. These services promote transparency, fairness, and efficiency, foster trust between the partners. So when I talk about impact services, I'm talking about mapping of the farmers digitally on ground. Each farmer is mapped along with their field. I'm talking about the program services, the agronomy training services on ground, the soil fertility activities that we can do, farm engine energy assessment, and data management. Like I said, we are not working on LCAs. We are working on primary impact data, collection of data through the platform called offered by Blue Number. For integrity services, in simple words, integrity means doing the right thing even when no one's watching. But it's hard to manage integrity in such long, complex textile supply chains. So to put measures in place, we are offering solutions. Actually, we are offering checkpoints to address the biggest challenges due to integrity. The biggest challenges due to integrity are bad quality of the product or raw material, not getting the product that you were committed for or you were promised, like not getting the authentic sustainable cotton, in exchange of the price you have been paying. So genetic testing for that, chain of custody management. And one of the biggest challenges in today's industry is we are charging huge premium to the brands and end consumers for sustainable cotton, but it's hardly reaching the farmers. In many cases, it is usually absorbed between supply chain, and we are providing services to get that verified if the premium has reached the farmers or not, and if not, then what are the ways this can be improved in the coming years. Moving on to traceability services, there is digital traceability and there is physical traceability. Digital traceability is in the way of, Sourcery offers in the way of chain of custody management that can be done digitally over apps. And then there is physical traceability, which is offered by our strategic partner called FiberTrace. And FiberTrace has this tool, which there is an indestructible pigment that is induced at raw material stage that can be scanned throughout the stages of the product. And it is going to last even if the product is later recycled. So it's easy to identify whether the authentic fiber has been used in your product along the supply chain, or if it has been blended with some other material, and so on. Rectifiable measures can be put in place for that. This company started out with focus on cotton, but has expanded to cover a range of other natural and man-made fibers. Currently, FiberTrace works with cotton farms, gins, and mills in Australia, US, and India, with expansion plans for Turkey and Brazil. For man-made fibers like viscose and recycled polyester, the company has a presence in Vietnam, Indonesia, and Europe. Next slide, please. So we work together with all of our partners, including brands, manufacturers, spinners, ginners, processors, fabric mills, knitters, weavers, assemblies, to find and solve problems and take advantage of opportunities. We find and solve problems related to material performance that affects all of us. If we are promising certain volumes or certain qualities and if they are not delivered, the whole supply chain becomes haywire and the whole program or the whole shipment is affected. So there have been cases we have helped, the experts in our team have helped the brands to identify conversions or quality issues, conversions meaning from final product to lint, understanding the wastages involved, or even processing issues to achieve better efficiencies. So we get sensitive information from all partners, but under confidentiality. But since we get an overall view, sometimes there are warehousing, interest rates, and several topics have been addressed during full supply chain engagement. Next slide, please. So with all these efforts going into the program, what we are finally able to achieve is a secured supply and demand, quality and integrity, verified impact, transaction efficiency, cost clarity, because we are able to get, see, and provide cost clarity at fiber level, which then is reflected throughout the costing of the products. Document traceability and end-to-end traceability, also with partnership with Fiber Trace. Next slide, please. For assembly transformation, I see what direct to grower brings in for you is from upstream opacity to transparency, from inefficient and higher risk to lower risk and better efficiencies, better communication, supply security. Of course, we have seen how the cotton market has been volatile in past couple of years, and I hope everyone learns a lesson and understands the value of directly engaging with programs like these. And like I said, we are willing to go with the highs and lows of the cotton market. The price goes high and the industry is stalled. The price goes low. We are very happy, but the farmer suffers. But if we get into programs like these, we can be price makers for, it's a win-win situation for all the partners. Yet again, from greenwashing, we are also providing verified data to reflect actual impact on ground. I just have one more slide if you're losing your patience. So
No, it's not about patience, actually, Ruchita. There are two more speakers. So just in the interest of time,
yes,
we will wrap up quickly, and especially the emphasis on sustainability that Sosri is bringing on board, organic and better cotton and all the sustainable fibers, the way you trace it and you make it relevant, because India has had, this thing about traceability is very, very important.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. So I'm going to keep it short. This is just these are just steps to how you can engage with us. With this, we are a membership-based program. We provide licensing after onboarding. These are some of the phases which we can talk about offline. You all are welcome to connect with me or my team members, and we can explain how it works for you in detail.
Ruchita, it was fantastic. I mean, the terms and the way your organization is engaging with brands and growers and, the traceability part of it is eye-opening. And I hope this series will reach out to more people through the Facebook and Facebook Live and YouTube and various mediums that we have for propagation of this. And, essentially the journey on which BSL and AEPC is on to, create India as a destination for sustainable resources, that will come through.